don't know what's the matter with that boy. Why, when I was a boy, I learned...
Golemdad returns to see if his disappointment of a son can redeem himself in nightmare difficulty. Yeah. Literally no one mentioned Iron Maiden as a skill in the comments, and I thought you might, so I've decided to take it upon myself to level a little bit in Act 5. And with that extra skill point, we can unlock Iron Maiden. The much requested Iron Maiden skill that will game change this. So quickly into Act 1, I'm looking for a 3-socket bow, which I've got. That'll be important later. I'm taking shelter from the women of the encampment. Not that I'm in any trouble again, but no, you can see here I've reset my stat points. I can't even wear my armour at this point because I've got no strength. So taking this 3-socket short bow, and we make the edge rune word. Now the most important thing about the edge rune word is the Thorns aura. That's the reason why we've got this. It will massively improve my hype game using Thorns. So with a level 15, we've got attacker takes damage of 88 and damage returned. So hopefully this, along with the Iron Golem, along with Iron Maiden, we should be a force to be reckoned with on paper. So I'm getting some points into strength. I like 60 points in strength. I think at this point actually maybe 70 might be more preferable, just so we can unlock most of the normal level equipment. Resting vitality. Now we're using a bow, there's no point having any points in dexterity at all because we're not going to be blocking anything with a shield, so we can enjoy having a decent life pool. We'll get the basic skills here because we want to make sure we get at least 1 point in nearly everything. I'm going to put a lot of points into Iron Golem. Unfortunately this is the most I can put in just because I'm level blocked at the moment. We've got 1 point in amplified damage and then Iron Maiden. And actually Iron Maiden seems to scale quite significantly, so I'm going to put as many points in there as possibly can. So I'm here looking at Iron Golem. Summon resist, I mean actually 5 more, I'm not sure that's going to be that worth it. Life 4, 4, 3. Oh no. Oh, I should have put more points into Golem Mastery. Oh, I'm an absolute idiot. So 500 life, it's a very weak Golem. Oh, we're probably going to have to level some more then. Let's get some arrows to remove that annoying icon, and let's hope for forgiveness from the women of the area. Look like they're trying to track me down. So we've got a decent magic find at the moment, and we're going to talk a little bit about Iron Maiden as a skill. So I've already got this at level 20, 675% damage returned, and a pretty decent duration. The most important thing of this is we're kind of stacking all of that returned damage. The Golem itself is not really doing any damage at all, but anyone hitting the Golem is really doing some damage to themselves, as they should be thoroughly ashamed. Unfortunately, we're going to have to level a little bit here, just because I feel like as soon as we move into Nightmare, we're going to get absolutely trashed by anyone with any kind of power, because I've been an idiot and not got enough points in Golem Mastery. Find a decent shield here actually, and I think, well, let's give this a go. Just give my Golem a little bit more survivability. And I can't actually click on it. So there are some there are definitely items that you can't turn into an Iron Golem. Clearly this shield doesn't have quite enough. Some decent finds actually, considering we got quite decent magic find. But man, even at players 4, I think I did a lot of this on. The Golem was taking a lot of damage, so I just had to power level as much as I could. And with the combination of Thorns, it actually wasn't too tough to level quite fast there. And this is what we managed to get, so quite a decent haul. Again, 150-ish magic find. Again, I'm just trying it out with a Hawk Helm just to see if that works. I was pretty certain that wasn't going to. Unfortunately, you can't make a Feather Boy. So where should we start? I think let's start with just some of the... well, a little bit of everything, to be honest. So Harazu's... very, very similar boots, but they've got fire resist instead, so that'll be quite good contextually. Yeah, not particularly good there. We've got some cold resist. Slows target knockback. I mean, I'm going to get rid of that. I don't think we really want that for the Iron Golem. I think we'd be losing too much damage and stuff. Okay, decent-ish. I mean, they've got some dual resists there. Wow, +3 Golem Mastery. Oh, that is a find. That is a find. Yeah, rubbish in comparison, but yeah, we definitely want to be starting to switch some of this stuff out. +2 to confuse, yeah, not really that useful. So Saigons, it's good. I mean, annoyingly, I don't have the strength to be able to use it. Ethereal, so that's actually pretty good, that Beverit's Keep. It's got a 75% fire resist, so actually, again, if there's a context to use it, we've got a decent defense and we've got high fire resist, we can maybe use that. And I'll keep the Saigons just because... you never know, we might get more of the set. I'm going to put 75 strength in just in case I want to use it. Again, when you're just pumping vitality, you may as well just put a little bit more into strength. I'm just checking the synergy there with 2 pieces of the Saigon set we've got. Decent all-resist amulet as well. And a completely pointless ring. But yeah, that +3 Golem Mastery, I mean, to be honest, that's probably much better than the Saigons, isn't it? The +1 to all skills is beneficial, but 3 to Golem Mastery is 60% more health. As opposed to just 20. I found these Claws of Vileness, prevent monster heal. Again, I'm not sure if claws are actually going to work to summon a golem with, but they should do. And if they do, then that prevent monster heal might be, again, contextually quite useful. So we've got +3 Clay Golem. I mean, he was a bro in the first one, but I think this is all about the Iron Brothers at this point. +2 summoning skills. Okay, so we've got the chance to unlock some really good stuff here. I actually looked at that green one down there because the green hue is what has the +2 to skills, but I don't think I'm a high enough level for that yet. +2 to all skills. But yeah, some decent like plus. Maybe it's worth just having a run back and forth to see what we can get. And here's a +1 Necromancer skills, +3 summon resist. It's tempting. It's quite expensive though. It's half my money. So let's see what we've got here. Plus summon resist there, 3. +3 Iron Golem, that's a good one. Yeah, lots of skills. +2 summoning, +2 Golem Mastery. Okay, that's going to be the one, right? That's +4 Golem Mastery. Plus we get the extra 2 like summon resist. Plus we get 2 more points into Iron Golem themselves. Yeah, okay. I mean, that is a huge, huge jump up there. Yeah, suddenly we've got 7 more points. Yeah, that is mega. Considering how badly I did there trying to level. So look, I mean, you can see here 1800 hit points is a lot better than the 500 I had not long ago. And just having a chat here with Daisy, the only person I can really trust in this town. Everyone else seems to dislike me. So Iron Maiden up to level 20. We've not got anything in the Poison and Bone. I could put some in the armour, but I don't need it. I don't get hit. I don't die, so Bone. I mean, yeah, we could think about doing things like Bone Wall and stuff. I just don't know. I find Bone Wall a bit annoying. Like, I get stuck as often as other creatures do. And this is all about the Golem, so I think with the points we've got, let's just pump Golem Mastery. I mean, that's looking pretty good. And we've got 2,500 hit points. That's definitely going to carry us into Nightmare. And using some decent armour here. Just some splint mail. Oh, don't look at that. Father, what is this pile of metal? It's nothing, dude. It's just some, yeah, spare parts. Just a pile of disappointment. Whoa, okay. It's definitely got some energy
within this place.
Yeah, I find the golems move way, way too quickly. Okay, let's have a look. We've got some Iron Maiden curse going on. It's got a pretty decent radius actually, so I can cast once and kind of leave it be. I can't wait for the comments about how actually the Thorn's Aura meant that you were doing damage as well. Yeah. I could sit there for another 3 minutes if that makes you feel better, but I won't be doing that. So actually, I mean, Gargantuan beasts are just so cool. They die so easily. It's so satisfying when big things fall over, so... Actually, this seems to be going pretty well. Big pile of corpses here, that's what we like to see. And some half corpses as well, which is pretty cool. Where the golems slice them in half. We got Kara's reward, which is always pleasant. One of the better ones.
And may yet restore my faith in humanity. The reward is...
Do you know, I don't think I've ever read that. I must have read it once, but... So now the question is, what do we put points into? Now we could just keep putting points into Iron Golem. The more points we put into this, the more damage return and the more defense he has. I don't know if defense is actually that beneficial because we want people to be hitting him. So maybe just, you know, let's keep it 20% more life every time we put point into Golem Mastery. So that really seems like the best return on investment. And this is what we want to see. A big pack of hairy boys. A big pack of Scottish men out from the bothy. Must have run out of drink. And that is super satisfying. Annoying. I didn't see the hero having died there. Did he just glitch out? Did I see him just glitch out? Here he is. I must have popped to the off license. There we go. I'm part Scottish, by the way, so I'm allowed to be, and I'm part Irish, so I'm allowed to be as cruel to anyone in the United Kingdom as I want to be. And another hero, literally just above another super satisfying hero. Annoyingly, whatever I do, there's always one creature that just wants to follow me. But yeah, absolutely melting under the combined. I'm actually using amplified damage here. There's a debate which we can chat through as this goes on. I actually found, from a context perspective, Iron Maiden worked quite well sometimes, and amplified damage worked well other times. And to be honest, amplified damage worked most of the time. It was a little bit cheaper to cast as well, not by a lot, like 1 mana. Yeah, we got a lot of... Like, the girls here are great fun, but these tainted are just a pain. They seem to, like, bug out after a moment and just rely upon their ranged attack, which is a real pain. When, of course, you need people to be hitting you, and... well, yeah, look, so these are misshapen. Sorry, I'm not sure what they're called. I call them tainted. I'm not sure what the creature class is. But they have a pretty solid, melee reliance at the beginning. But as soon as you get to, like, mid-range, they use their lightning ball attack. And actually, it gets to a point where they refuse to do anything other than their lightning attack. Night Poison here, I mean, I can wait as long as I want. He's never going to try and hit me, so... Let's get through to the Darkwood. Looking forward to hitting Treehead. Finding this quite good fun at the moment. I had a really bad time at the end of normal difficulty, and I was really reluctant to do this. But yeah, something in the back of my mind, and maybe about 40 comments said, why are you not using Iron Maiden? So I thought I'd better do it, just to silence people. And look at this for a waypoint. So Treehead is literally, 20 yards to the south? And actually when you hit that waypoint, he's not immediately activated, but he's like 2 steps away. So fantastic farming spot. Because not only is he easy, there's actually another like hero spawn just to the south there, which is unfortunately variable. So sometimes you get archers, sometimes you get cruel beasts, sometimes you can get the ladies. Unfortunately, those archers proved too much. So I had to remake my son. So this is actually at a higher difficulty level. I think I'm doing this maybe players 4 or 5. And the drops are good, man. The drops were good, the experience was great. And the thing is, when you've just been farming for a lot of experience, I didn't really need that area. But it's nice to have. I can rely upon that for another few levels, at least, if I need to. If I find a roadblock somewhere. I think at this point the roadblock's only going to be not having enough hit points, but... There's not much I can do, like 20% more. If I gave myself a few hundred more hit points, I'm not sure that's going to make that much of a difference if I'm finding something too difficult. But actually the combination, I think Thorns is helping, a decent chunk. Iron Maiden and Amplified damage is helping quite a lot. And the Golem himself not doing much damage, but we've got decent damage returned as well.
Ghosts and ashes.
Rescue that old man.
If you value your life, leave here immediately.
Completely subverting the justice system of Tristram, which I think is probably actually a crime in of itself. Yeah, it's annoying. So the Knight Clan here, the goat dudes, are really, really great. They often, give great experience for the level they are. Yeah, and this is the danger. So there's 2 heroes down there. The experience is fantastic, so I can't help but keep coming back here every now and then just to farm a little bit more. I find this Paladin shield, now the guess is, will this be turned into a golem or not? Yeah, I kind of guessed it would be. I thought that maybe a lot of those like contextual weapons, like class-specific weapons, might not be eligible. But a lot of it just seems to be metal contact. So again, we've got a huge amount more levels. This is actually quite good fun. It really didn't take me long at all. I've got 4 more levels here. I could put more levels into Iron Golem, but I'm not really seeing much return. Now, Summon Resist could actually be pretty good. Yeah, and the return's actually not too bad at this level. The question is it worth having like a few more points into Summon Resist or 20% more health every time we go into that? I just think like to resist 5% damage or having that many more hundreds of hit points. I think we know the answer. And you might hate me for this, but I'm going to put a little bit more into strength. It's just fun when you get like unique armor. You can actually wear it straight off the bat without having to completely resort it. And that's me trying out the Arbalest. Just have a look to see if I can do anything with that. As in summon an Iron Golem, and I could not. It would be a wooden one. Skullband. Cool name. Sometimes it's just the name, right? The name is like, can sway you. So I'm doing some gambling if you might not have realised already. I do have some pretty poor rings. And actually a fire resist ring, pretty good. No good, no good. Telekinesis, I can't see the context for using that. I've got the mana. Cold resist, not much else. And actually maybe better than lightning resist. 47 to mana. I'm not really running out of mana at all. Oh, cold resist and half freeze duration. Yeah, that actually feels like maybe that could be quite useful. Skill Shrine. It's worth noting actually, and this is something again from the Amazon Basin, which is a great website by the way. If you summon your, basically your golem gets summoned again every time you have a new game. So as long as you've got a point in Iron Golem and you leave the game with an Iron Golem, when you come back in it kind of resummons it for you. But if you're not wearing your plus summoned gear, then it will come through at a lower level. So if I've not got my shield and my wand out, then actually my Iron Golem when I start a new game is potentially not as high a level as when it was originally cast, which I thought was pretty interesting. Just one of those like little nuances, especially because I want to get things like amulets and stuff that I can switch in and out of just to cast the golem. But I've just got to be careful if I'm going in and out of games to be aware that actually my Iron Golem, if he's not on switch, could have quite a lot less hit points, because I've got so many extra hit points now with that switch weapon. And what a satisfying. I mean, this is quite a painful area to go through. I mean, again, he's not... I've just been doing a shadow run, and actually shadows generally teleport to the mage, the shaman there. And shaman is correct, by the way, in English, not shaman. And I am English, if you had not suspected. One guy in a comment mentioned that he could barely understand my accent. God help you, dude. The smith, like sometimes the smith can be like pretty variable in my runs as to how easy or hard it is. That was easy. This has actually been quite good fun so far, like easy leveling. And I'm not saying Iron Golem. I've got to say, I think the Thorns is doing a lot more work than Iron Golem. I think amplified damage would have carried me just as easily. But the Iron Golem is a lot of fun. Like compared to the Clay Golem, and I know the Clay Golem can get like 4,000 or 5,000 hit points. That to me doesn't seem nearly as much fun, and it slows, which is cool. But I really feel there should be a... What I liked about Diablo 3 was their ability to have a lot more like, oh, you can suddenly get this amulet and you can summon all golems, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but one of the skills let you summon like three golems or something like that. 3 of the same golem, but smaller versions. I can't quite remember what that was, sorry. Maybe it was Witch Doctor. Bonash here. Yeah, not going to be able to touch that guy. Actually, screaming through the act. Probably one of the fastest we've ever got to close to Andariel at this point. So we found the way down, we just need to find the waypoint. I think on Nightmare it's worth it. Nightmare and Duriel is a great farm, just generally. Like, even when I'm very, very high level, I still think it's a great farm opportunity. She's got nowhere near the danger of hell difficulty, both in, like, getting to Andariel, and actually Andariel herself. So it's well worth just getting the waypoint, just so we can come back and farm her if we need some more equipment. And that's not just for this playthrough, but it might be for hell.
Yes.
Here we got it. Quick speed through. Just having a look at some of these things. It's very... I've got pretty much a whole stash tab just for things I need to maybe make Iron Golems out of. Right, off we go. Quick portal trick there. Yeah, so it was slower going, and this is Iron Golem. I mean, not Iron Golem, what the hell am I talking about? Christ. I'm going to make that mistake a few times this video. So Iron Golem, of course, but actually Iron Maiden. And I felt like maybe it was like bosses. Well, you'll see it coming up. I don't want to spoil too much, but I think a lot of it depends on how hard the creatures hit. Those zombies hit quite hard, so Iron Golem isn't useless at all. But I think the amplified damage... Remember, amplified damage does help with the Golem's damage as well. Which is not a lot, I admit, but it's something. So this is basically 100% what I didn't want, which are these afflicted. Yeah, I'm just going to save and exit. So we just need to keep rolling and actually find a unique there. Some extra defense. I don't think the replenish life will work, but resistances. Okay, this maybe worth a golem. Better than just something rubbish. Okay, so that's what we want. It looks like there is just a general hero spawn in that location on the map tile that we've got, and the kind of like the map seed we've got. Yeah, and don't hate me for doing that. standing next to the shaman, because otherwise this might take a while. All I'd have to do, and I have to do this at some point, is just create a town portal scroll and then zip back to town and get him into position. Like there might be a good spot. Just so when he pops back he has a chance. Oh, and this is just so frustrating. Yeah, he's afflicted. And again, look, you can see how much damage the golem's taking. Literally nothing whatsoever. But I'm going to be taking damage from that, and it's just dangerous. And I don't want him to get caught up if we try and, like, I mean, I can only even go and get through the door at this point. That's super, super risky. Yeah, we're going to have to save an exit. So here we are again. This was meant to be, we got here quite quickly, but slowing down. Ah, there's more of them here. Oh, there's loads of them, right. Let's try again. Yeah, okay, maybe this will be the challenge of the run, is just having to do this many, many times to get the good roll. Eventually, there won't be any afflicted, eventually. Unfortunately, there'll always be a few, I think, in this zone, but as long as it's not a hero. Yeah, getting stuck on doors is not ideal when they shaman are there resurrecting. So I think I just need to try and run through, try and reposition everyone. As soon as you get into melee range, okay, here we go. Let's not. Oh god, is that another hero? They didn't look like they were minions. 3 of them, or 4 of them, 5 of them. I can see another lightning ball there. 5 of them. Maybe eventually one of them might kill themselves. I wonder if we can like reset them by going back to town. Maybe it's best just to run away. Maybe if we can lure them in and around, like lure them round to the other's room, maybe we can just sprint out. They are distracted by the golem quite effectively. So maybe we can get them all to come into this room. Are they even coming? Okay, one is. Oh, okay. Superior Dragon Shield there. I was hoping for some sockets, but I think only the Monarch has 4 sockets, and we're probably not at that level yet. Okay, we've got a lot of them, I'll be honest, and there's one following me here. But if we run through, we can get a portal up, reset the location, and they're now stuck in the other room. We've just got to be conscious that they're in the other room. Annoyingly, we've got the shaman group up the top there activated, which means that shaman is going to be wandering around now. Hopefully he's not going to wander too far. If he wanders too far north, he's just going to be resurrecting. I think what we're going to have to do with this one is do the god's work and just... I mean, he's regenerating health a lot. It might even be worth going back and getting that prevent monster heal weapon. Okay, looks like we got it eventually. One normal afflicted eventually goes down. Yeah, the actual like core damage of the golem is horrific. And it's a shame there wasn't one which, you know, had maybe high attack but low defense or something like that, so you could use it in some kind of context, but they're all very, very much a high defense. I was saying that I know some people say that blood golems scales quite well, and fire golem, especially if you've got some other curses, but I think a lot of it is dependent on items as well. I mean, you can scale up any skill to be pretty viable. Like, I'm sure fire golem, if you've got its level 45, is really, really powerful with, you know, lower resist. But that's going to be, I need a lot of levels to get anywhere close to that. I need to be at least level 50. Wow, okay, well, okay. We're chatting away, and Andariel's just gone. Actually, golem, almost like, the golem is immune to poison, which is very helpful. So I think, I can't even talk. That is phenomenal. Okay, now maybe I understand what everyone was talking about. That is ridiculously quick. It's a shame in a way. I mean, it was almost worth getting a staff of teleport, just getting to Andariel quickly and just watching her melt. So Eisenhart's sword there, I wouldn't even use that as a doorstop. Have a look at this. I mean, it doesn't really do anything for me there, does it? It's not going to be a great golem. In Act 2, I mean, if we hadn't had such bad rolls at the very end, then we probably would have screamed through that. And actually, I'm quite looking forward to seeing how this character progresses. I would love to see how well it does against Duriel. I think it might prove to be more of a challenge, because his damage output is just so high. That very cozy level up as well. Quite easy to level this character too. I think you know what I'm going to be doing here. I mean, I should be going for Summon and Resist. Iron Golem, I don't really need the extra stuff there. I think we just need the extra health. Because everything will die eventually. We just need him to last long enough. Unfortunately, like, yeah, you just get a lot of archers here. I don't know, I mean, it might be worth me checking actually, but for some reason any fire attack seems to do a lot of damage to the Iron Golem. I think it's more just because fire attacks are just generally so dangerous in this game. Like, fire resist is the most important resistance to have. So it feels like fire's doing a lot of damage, but it's just when you get fire, you know, archers and stuff like that, They're just dangerous to everyone. So we've found Radamant and his lair, and he's having a real party here, which we're crashing. And unfortunately, he's got a lot of mage boys with him as well. And you can see they're not really doing... They are doing damage eventually. I think there's just enough of them ticking the damage down. Maybe if we run past... We need to get a lot of the melee attackers just out of the picture, and then we can run through. Maybe if I just then make a portal next to Radamant, we can enjoy the luxury of having them pelt the golem from the other side. And I can just curse him. Yeah, I think we looks like there's very few melee. He is resurrecting them, that's the problem, so we're just going to have to get next to him. Portal. It's risky for me, and I don't want to be doing this on hell difficulty. I don't know how I'm going to get him into these kind of contextual positions. You can see I took, 250 health off me pretty quickly there. So normally, he's cold afflicted. That's really annoying because he's slowed down. Doesn't matter. If anything, extra fast is a benefit because they're going to kill themselves quicker. I'm just going to quickly help myself to that box. Yeah, nice. And book a skill. So cool. Such a good reward. I'd love to know what's written in that. And we're into the desert. I read an article on PC Gamer about ARPGs, and they mentioned about Diablo. I can't remember exactly what they mentioned, but they mentioned about Diablo 2 and how I can't read exactly. It was a stupid article, and it mentioned how they implied Act 2 was just a long, boring desert. Do they understand it's meant to be a trek, an epic trek through the desert? I just can't believe it. Act 2 is clearly the best act. It's got an Arcane Sanctuary. Are you kidding me? That place is amazing. A maggot lair? Yeah, it's frustrating. It's meant to be, because you're going through the trails, the burrowed trails of a huge maggot king. That's cool. Have you heard Alcor's voice acting? It's incredible. Elzix, you've got a bar in town? Name another act with a bar in the town. Exactly. Yeah, he's got so many cool creatures as well. I mean, these are just like creative character types. You've got the first introduction of these maggots. That doesn't sound too good. You've got these lightning beetles. Yeah, man, this is not boring at all. Claw Viper Temple. And honestly, I've been playing through Path of Exile 2, and they pay homage to Diablo 2 a lot. Like Act 3 is, which I've just been going through, is pretty much Aztec, which is very, very similar, I'll be honest. A lot of jungle environments to our own loved Diablo 2 Act 3. And then Act 2 is set in the desert, although it is super cool, the town in Act 2 in Path of Exile. I won't ruin it in case you haven't played it yet, but it's really, really cool idea. Anyway, kids these days, what can I say?
I can't.
Someone criticised me for saying that he doesn't sound like Liam Neeson. I get he doesn't sound like it all the time, but I can't. That's Northern Irish to me. I can't. I can't really do his voice. You're about to be taken. No, that's a bit too normal Irish. You're about to be taken.
Used to be a boxer and blah blah blah. I'd love the chance to do it.
See, classic Necromancer. In fact, if they made a movie, he's quite tall, but I would definitely advocate for him. That is such a good game, actually. I might do that. Who's the best Diablo 2 caster characters? Liam Neeson as the Necromancer would be so cool. Okay, it looks like we've come up against our first roadblock. Now, Locusts, as we know from Mick Dagger's playthrough, are resistant to physical, shall we say. So the debate here is, okay, amplified damage versus Iron Maiden. I can see from bosses, like, it's pretty clear Iron Maiden is very, very good because they do so much damage with each hit. But actually, just in general play, and bearing in mind I've got 1 point in amplified damage and 20 points in Iron Maiden. Okay, it looks like they're taking maybe 2 hits. Okay, wait for this egg now to hatch on. Okay, well, in terms of science, we can say, so we've got 2. So this is amplified damage. 1 hit. 1 hit. This might be really boring for some people, but I kind of needed to do the experiment at this point, and it hopefully will settle a lot of the arguments. So it's definitely clear that with maybe smaller creatures, amplified damage Or maybe they've got just low damage output, because these are like little, like, tiny creatures, really. It definitely seems that, unless they've got really high damage output, amplified damage is the way to go. So I think amplified damage, we know it doubles a physical, and Iron Maiden returns physical. So I think we've just got to use it contextually. So, small creatures, amplified damage, big hard hitters, Iron Maiden could be viable. But just from a day-to-day perspective, amplified damage is fine. This is always quite satisfying. So these guys, like, can be such a pain when you get stuck with loads of beetle, like a beetle hero in this place. The trick, if you're like a summon or whatever, is just unsummon everything and just get your mercenary out, just get a golem and a mercenary. And yeah, you'll get through it. So I can see why some classes could find Act 2 frustrating. So let's just take a quick breather. I love doing stuff on the tour of Sanctuary. The rocks previously did look amazing, I've got to say, but man, they've done a good job. It just looks so atmospheric. Check it out, they've definitely removed the ambient sound in the new one. There's like cicadas. I wonder why they did that. I mean, I do think the remaster is generally amazing. I mean, you just look at the terrain there, it looks so cool. They look like ripples in the sand. And the footprints I've mentioned before, but I've only noticed that quite recently. I think that's so good too. I wish in many ways, just to say F you to PC Gamer, that they made their act 3 times bigger and it was a real like trek through the desert. And if you don't like games to be grindy and long, then you shouldn't be playing action RPGs as far as I'm concerned. I'm not bitter about that article at all. I'm not overly defensive. Golem Mastery, I mean, doing pretty well at this point, right? I think we're over level 20 if we on Switch. Now we've got 15 base points. And I'm actually, like, southeast now is the actual way into the Lost City, but I'm going back there because I see some minions. And these poison guys aren't doing anything to the golem because he's immune. One of the few benefits... Oh, there's the hero. Yeah, I was wondering where the actual hero was. He looks particularly... Yeah, he looks like he's been drinking some of those pots. Puke Weaver the Shade, I mean, yeah, he's not cool. That is not a cool name. I like the Sin Wolves and things like that, that's what's cool. And Bone Ash I think is cool as well, I just wish they'd put sunglasses on his character model. Claw Viper Temple, so this actually might be quite a good opportunity to use Iron Maiden. Actually, amplified damage is just so... It's just the everyday spell, right? And it's working really well. They are such glass cannons. Yeah, they're absolutely melting. It's just no need. The good thing about having 20 points into a curse is that the duration is actually pretty good. And on Nightmare, the curse duration is lowered, and Hell very significantly so. So interesting, 4-socket double axe. Is there anything I can do with that? I'm just thinking like rune word wise. I know people are like, oh, it'd be so good if you could do like a beast rune word. Oh, I can see the map here is an absolute gem as well. I think this might always be the kind of map. It's just kind of crescent, clockwise crescent. I'm just leaving him to do his business in the other room. Wow, it's busy here as well. You can see that. I mean, look, that was a very, very decent sized pack of enemies. The Golem, like, I just don't need to do anything. It's a shame you can't heal him somehow. But this is pretty comfortable. And I can see the steps going down here means we're definitely in the right direction. Now, under normal circumstances, I take the coward's northerly route. But I'm pretty confident he can take on Fangskin. There's a well there as well, which is always good to see. Good retreat location. Oh, he's gone! He's actually gone. Wow. Fangskin on Nightmare can be such a run killer. For those who've played hardcore before, it's just like, what is even the point in coming in this room? It'd be so miserable. And nice when we get a class reward. Not very useful, but worth some money. So here we are, one of my favourite gentleman clubs in the area. Is there a gentleman's club in any other act? No, because this is the best act. My son was wondering why the guys on the door seem to know me so well, but we'll gloss over that. Oh, look at this shrine as well. Normally I just sprint through this, but look at that. Isn't that cool? Oh, what the... Okay, super bugged out. Okay, there's something in that incense. It's actually a pretty dangerous area for me as well. I don't really have the resists to just be messing around. Getting pelted just to look at some shrine, some stamina shrine. But yeah, there's a lot of like... I mean, the palace, I've been surprised before in previous runs as the waypoint. Oh, we've got Fire Eye over there, which is a pain. But yeah, there's a lot of like stuff I've not paid attention to in this area. But the waypoint in this area is very unique. And yeah, the shrines look unique too. Now hopefully my son's okay in that room. There is an archer up there, which I just try to highlight. I don't really want that archer to come down. Unfortunately, I think he's probably stuck with a horror mage. Invaders are just so notorious. They're much like those tainted, the lightning ball throwers. They just love, after a while, just running away. And if they're going to be like hemmed in, then they're just not going to be attacking, and we keep it for a while. And I've just aggravated that archer. Oh my god, my life. This is my life. Son, come on! Okay, we need to problem solve this. Let's try and move back and see if we can get some of those mages to come through. Okay, oh, one's blocking the door. Maybe it's worth going through that door there instead. There is a glow there though. I'm not going to even bother with that. I can see that this looks like some some bullshit. I don't want more lightning throws. Can we get through? Now I've in the past said, well the good thing is at least Fire I can't get through that door, and he sprinted through, so they can get through. See that? Yeah, Invader one hit, and now look what he's doing. Okay, Fire Eye, I think might be hitting me. Why is this so difficult? Why is every one of my challenge runs? This area is just an absolute nightmare. Okay, maybe just try and reset them. I mean, he's just not even going to bother attacking. I'm just need to try and find a break in the attacks. Try and get through that lightning. Okay, let's just run to... Okay, yeah, I mean, it was only a few lightning guys. We can run all the way around. Not the hero there, but we know Fire is not in that room, so it's pretty pedestrian.
Fantastic. I wish I had time to study this bizarre dimension.
So I'm hoping the ghosts... Yeah, absolutely melt. What a pleasure. Ghosts are always quite good fun to kill as well, especially if they're easy to kill. Definitely kill them. They have a odd or maybe a limited drop table, which means they've got a higher chance of dropping both gems and runes. More importantly, runes. But yeah, I remember getting some advice once of like, if you ever see a pack of ghosts, like a hero pack, just always kill it on high difficulties, because you'll get so many more high runes from doing that than you will from just like endlessly running cow levels or other stuff. So yeah, Hell Clan, the goat dude's here. No challenge. But unfortunately the Fire Lords, these ghouls, are a pain. They have quite high physical resistance. They don't always like to attack in melee, so they're quite unreliable, and they do quite a lot of damage as well, or mainly to me. You can see how much damage I'm taking here from the volleys. So let's just try and use the portals. Here's quite a good spot. The Golem himself doesn't seem to take too much damage. It does take some damage, so I need to be quite careful. This is risky. Let's pull the ghosts and let's try and run through. There's some more ghosts there. Hopefully I can they're quite slow, the ghosts, so as long as they're not heroes, they can be really, really speedy, but I can just kind of kite them around here. Don't seem too dangerous to me. Yeah, goats have killed themselves. Thankfully the ghosts are quite aggressive. I think they might change direction quite often. Some creatures just love to like follow you to the end of time, even though there's another fight going on, and a closer fight. The ghosts seem to want to change. This is an absolute cluster. Yeah, I mean, luckily I've got rejuvenation potions, so I'm able to kind of keep afloat, but this is like a bullet hell. You really need those goats to remove themselves from the equation. Thankfully they're doing that on my thorny shoulder. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this teleport. The problem is, well, they seem to be healing me quite regularly. I am running low on potions now. I've used pretty much all my rejuvenations. I say pretty much. I've used all my rejuvenation potions. Speaking absolutes. He is blocking the way. I'm trying to maybe see if I can get a portal the other side of him, but he's moved forward. Oh, actually, nice. Even better. Didn't need to use the portal. And there's no point. Yeah, you do get pretty bad luck on Arcane Sanctuary. It is truly random which direction it is, so you just got to hope, pray to the gods. This, I think, was maybe the first immune to physical, and Iron Maiden couldn't break the physical immunity, but amplified damage can, so that's another good contextual use of another point for amplified damage. And we got him. That's pretty good luck. And it's pretty empty as well, so we could maybe just pull this ghost off. That's what she said. I think that is the plot to Ghost, the movie, if you've not seen it. Yeah, that laugh as well. I love it. I love it. I think it's maybe the end of Mick Gordon's run. My Poison Dagger only. Hell, that laugh, man, was pretty haunting because I heard it many times. And again, another level up. Isn't it? This is fun. This is actually fun when you can get level ups without having to like cheese areas or whatever. It just happens as you play the game. Feels like a normal playthrough in many ways. But yeah, just a fun way of doing it, definitely. You know, where these lightning beetles would otherwise be an issue, having to engage them at all, Golem has no issue whatsoever. I don't have a lot of points in summon resist, so I'm not quite sure why the damage just seems so poor. Actually, really, really easy run up to the orifice. Again, what? Give me another action RPG that has an orifice. Yeah, we all know Duriel's tail is actually in that little nub there, and he's hanging from the ceiling. And the only thing to do to really stir him from his slumber is to jam a, you know, a moistened stick as hard into that orifice as you possibly can. And that lightning is coming out of his... I don't know what am I talking about. Anyway, let's have a look. Duriel, this might be quick, so I better concentrate. Yeah, I mean, okay, we are taking a lot of damage. I say a lot of damage. It looks like a relatively fair fight between the two of them. But I will try and keep my son alive. Just getting a few... I mean, I just can't help but drink a few potions there just to stop the Holy Freeze-esque aura that he's got from doing too much damage to me. But wow, look at that. I mean, I need to run back and get my Magic Find gear on, really. Let's heal him up, and then we'll just quickly do one more hit and then go back to town for the Magic Find gear. Oh, I messed that up really badly. Yeah, it happened too quickly. I didn't put my Magic Find gear on. But, oh, are you kidding me? Serpent skin armor. Oh my... Okay. Silks of the Viper Magi. So +1 to all skills. That is insane. That is a dreadful roll as well. So it can have up to 35 resistances. I'll put the stats up for you. And it's got 9 magic damage reduction as well, which is also the lowest. So it's almost the worst possible Silks of the Viper Magi I could possibly get. But +1 to skills and resists on armor. Yes, that is phenomenal. And just enjoying the way that Duriel looked. They've done an insane job of his death. Look at that. I mean, part of that wound was probably done when I did the old orifice. I mean, I feel a bit guilty about that now, but these horrible maggots. I used to think that. I think actually once when I was quite young, I tried to run over all of these maggots because I thought they were all going to turn into Duriels, and that would just be better for the townsfolk. Yeah, I was a popular kid. And look at these drawings as well. I wonder if these are the same that you see in other temples, but this looks very contextual to the room we're about to turn up to. That looks like Tower Asher getting a gem stuck into him. These, like, caterpillar lines, I thought these are probably likely to turn into Duriel. Presumably they need a soul stone to eat, but yeah, they look so cool the way they've done that. And even like these doodads here, like, clearly a lot more Egyptian in its remaster, but very cool. I wonder how much they like looked at different characters and like what people wore and stuff like that just within the universe to design stuff like that, or they were just like, yeah, we'll just do an Egyptian one. And this, I mean, the lava here looks so cool. I really like the way it looked when in its older version, though. It looks good now, but I think like the old version just really reminds me of like Planescape Torment or a game like that, or maybe Baldur's Gate, those old 2D ones. So here we are. Our favourite Irishman. Yeah, put his brothers down. Only 3 there, which is a bit annoying, but maybe that's a good sign of things to come. Always worth trying to kill the first minion. And again, these jungle hunters are a little bit frustrating because they like to run away, but they do come back. Jade figurine. Yeah, I knew they had something. Now this is really cool. Something I only found out recently. This is Alcor's dialogue when you first meet him.
damn it. I wish you people would just leave me alone. Oh, you're a necromancer, aren't you? I've heard that your kind use powerful potions and such to wake the dead and control spirits. I'd love to discuss what components you use sometime. I am Alcor the Alchemist. I dabble in potions and salves myself, and I can sell you some.
So the cool thing about that is that's unique Necromancer dialogue. Everyone else has the same other dialogue, which is him being slightly annoyed at you being there. But the Necromancer has a unique one, which I thought was pretty cool. I only found that out pretty recently. So spiders, normally I hate this area just because I'm just not a great fan of spiders. But when you can kill them this easily, it's actually quite satisfying. I'm very much not a like run away from spiders. If I see one, I just want to kill it. Which I know is horrible, but yeah, they do genuinely terrify me. And normally I'd be pretty scared. I mean, there's some pretty tanky, but they can hit pretty hard, or their AI is a little bit passive. But especially the fire ones can be pretty damaging. We haven't really seen many fire ones at this point. I wonder why we're not seeing any fire ones though. Yeah, I've just got a feeling this map, I think it might be around that way and not down this way. Yeah, I was right. Because you need those flame spinners. I'm pretty certain the hero here is a flame spinner, and so you should be seeing some of his minions. But yeah, no drama whatsoever taking out those guys. Okay, look, definite mega ambient sound here. And they've replaced it. I mean, it sounds a little bit more like a forest rather than a rainforest. I actually came here just to admire the bubbles. It's just so sad. But yeah, I thought, oh, let's just have a quick look at the river because I'm interested to see what they've done there. But that sound is like quite deafening. I only say not deafening, but it's very, very noticeable. And they've removed it. Oh, I wonder why they did that. I'm actually a little bit annoyed that they did that. Because I do think it's much better when you have that, like rainforest should be pretty deafening. I was saying that, have I actually ever been to a rainforest before? I think technically there are rainforests in the UK because of the amount of rainfall they get. And I found this little hut, which is pretty cool. Some guy fell off his ladder. I mean, that's what happens when you don't build stairs. Drinking a bit of that jungle juice. It's dangerous. It's a warning for all of us, really. Especially with that door, Christ. So I've got lore there. Actually, okay, yeah. Here we found this. I remember we gambled for this in the last one. +2 summoning skills and all resists. I completely forgot we had it. So yeah, just all resist is really good anyway. But yeah, next time we need to summon a golem, it's going to be quite significantly better with that +2 to summoning skills. Storm tree here, and even a level up just to prove how strong we are. Yeah, it's just nice when you can actually kill stuff. So many of my runs, I'm completely unable to kill anything. Low-Crast is normally quite a good fun area as well. I've learnt to really enjoy running Low-Crast, especially if we can find the campfire, which we have done here. So these chests here are super chests, which means they just have a really high chance of dropping magic items, so we can come back there. So I've got the waypoint, and I've come back into the Flayer jungle. It's kind of the way I do it these days. Oh no, we've got another rat man. It feels like my game is bugged. It's completely unmodded, by the way. I'm going to be modding it for one of the later runs, so I'm a bit nervous about doing it. But every time we want to get the Gidmin, we end up with a passive. It's horrible to watch as well, just like hitting a child. I mean, there's nothing I can do there. Trying to shoot him with an arrow just to try and inspire him. Why does this keep happening? Oh god, I just had to watch my son just bash him in the head. Please, please don't make us sit through it, please. Oh god, yeah, so this was pretty painful to watch. Yeah, oh. Just mashed up against the wall. Oh, and he did teleport at the end. He did inspire. So it feels like it's just his attack is muted.
This is
and all that for a Gidbin. God, that reward better be worth the you know, waking nightmares of that poor Ratman's last look as the life drains from his eyes. Decent amulet there. Move on pretty quickly from that. Decent amulet there, 96 life. Sometimes you've got to balance, like, well, if I take 9% less damage from an attack, is it better just to have 100 more life or so? And I think quite often it is. Flayer Dungeon? I mean, how hard can this play? Oh, actually, this is going to be quite difficult. You've got so many of these dart throwers. Or dart blowers, should I say. So the killers themselves, like the little minions, Ratmen, they really aren't doing very much at all. There's a hero in them, in amongst that, I didn't even realise. But there are so many of these blow dart dudes. I'm just going to have to blow... Oh, damn, the damage is insane. Yeah, and that is a lot of damage in a very short space of time. I slowed that down because I was like, that is... But that was less than half a second, and it was over 300 damage. Maybe it's my own fault. I think just when you get hit by so many people at the same time, then, and I was running, so I had lower defense, and you know, I'm not able to block because I've got my bow out. So I'm going to have to try and make a new Iron Golem. I think this Charge Bolt one might be quite good. I actually think the Charge Bolt might do some decent damage. We always got a safety port on the Flayer Dungeon. It's just one of those like necessities. If you've ever had to run back through the jungle, and you always remember a town portal scroll. So there are a few melee guys here. I wonder if this... Oh, maybe the Shaman's just raised a few up while all that was going on. I think the problem is just... There's no way... I mean, Charge Bolt's popping off, which is good. There's no way I'm going to be able to take these guys on. I did read that Iron Maiden does work with the blow darts for whatever reason, but I think that's something I must have patched out, because it definitely wasn't, hence why I'm using Amplify damage. Which I shouldn't be really. Yeah, I'm using Amplify damage just to see where they are more than anything. Luckily they've moved away from the corpse. We're just going to have to run. This is super dangerous at this point. I hope there's no hero in here. Oh, thank God it's the way down. Okay. That's how you do it. That's not how you do it, but... Yeah, and thankfully actually the way down was pretty pedestrian at that point, so we were able to run through. So here we are on level 3, which is kind of a bit of a maze. The enemy groups are pretty spread out, so it's not always the worst idea just to run through it all. Now, annoyingly, Ndugu's minions aren't quite... Because he's not quite aggravated yet, but they are. They're not attacking, which is really annoying, because I don't want to run through and then suddenly they all attack me, so... Trying to get Ndugu's attention. Oi! Yeah, I think he's moved away. He doesn't like being oid. Okay, let's just grab it. Let's just grab the brain. At least they're attacking. Oh, they've already gone. They're already dead. Yeah, I'm actually going to kill all these minions for ignoring me. You can be lonely in the old little toxic corner. We're up to player 7. I think you know what I'm probably doing. Lower Harassed. I can't help myself. We are so close to the campfire here. This is like a dream. So in here is the super chest. That is almost as good as you can hope for. The only issue is with Act 3, having to like do this over and over again. If you've ever had to do low crass runs, it's just the run from when you start a new game, that run up through the town just to get to the waypoint. And a Grand Charm, yes, we could get some good stuff. We probably won't, but we could get some good stuff, so it might be worth farming this up. And actually, the experience won't be too bad either. I even go back to Treehead just because, I mean, again, I just remember how good it is being, like, having a decent creature there. And again, players, I think 6 I'm doing this on, maybe 7. Now we're at my higher level, and he's a decent, chunky boy. We can really enjoy ourselves. One of them occasionally wants to try and fight me. But we can get a few more levels here, we can get some decent equipment. You see they've got 3 skill points to spend. And we're back in Act 2, which is just a nicer act to be in. I've actually used Kane to identify all of these. Just because there were so many. 92 mana, there's some life and fire resist, but not great. Lightning resist 27, okay, that's pretty good. Could be good against our friend Mephisto. Elemental skills, yeah, it's a shame. Strength, yeah, there's some real trash here, of course. Okay, all resist. It's got a lot there. None of it's very good. The max resist there is poison, which is useless. Otherwise, everything else is very low. And everything else, unfortunately, isn't very useful at all. But we've got some other decent stuff here. I mean, we've got a really, really good shrunken head anyway, so I can't imagine any of these being any better, but we'll find out. Oh, wow, look at that. 27 to life and 23 lightning resist. That is insanely good. +2 summoning skills. I mean, we've kind of already got... That is good, though, +2 summoning skills, because that is summon resist. It's 2 the Golem Mastery, and it's 2 to Iron Golem themselves as well. So it probably is worth switching that out. Yeah, no good. None of these are very good. Occasionally I'm just looking maybe contextual. Would it be good having just a point in this without having to actually spend any points on it? But really pleased with that. I'll get rid of that. 14. Some of this stuff I've just been holding on to maybe that we shouldn't have done. Yeah, we don't need half this stuff. See what else we've got here. Some other decent stuff. Annoying those boots aren't going to fit in. Okay, Jewel, pretty useless. Yeah, I mean, 28 fire resist is pretty good. +2 curses, +3 attract. Yeah, actually decent resist as well. That's a nice one for the right character. Not me though. Lightning resist. It's ethereal as well. I mean, some of this maybe could be turned into a golem. Oh, here we go. Venom grip. So it's ethereal, and it's got some crushing blow. I mean, it's worth hanging on to, definitely. You never know, we might need it. I think Iron Maiden is going to do most of the work, but you never know. And those boots, yeah, rubbish, unfortunately. So I've got my edge bow out. That gives me 15% cheaper prices, having that rune word bow equipped. And really, like, looking at my equipment, I mean, that's dual resist belt. Yeah, armor's good now, helm's good. Don't hate my gloves. It's really probably the amulet, so... And you know, I've got an absolute compulsion to gambling. With the amount of farming I've done, I've actually got quite a lot of gold, so I can really enjoy myself here. And this is one of the most fun parts of Diablo 2, I find. It's gambling, basically. 85 mana there. Oh, look at that. So, 16 resist door, and it's got magic find, and it's got some damage reduction as well. That's really good. Oh, it's such a shame it's got +1 Amazon and not Necromancer. That will be, like, end game. I say end game because I can't just like farm endlessly to try and make these runs viable. I've got to balance the rest of the stuff I've got to do in my life. 2 war cries there. That's quite interesting. Magic find. Oh, nice. Necromancer skill levels. Actually, might be worth just putting that on, like taking that on and off just when I cast the golem. Yeah, some of this stuff. I mean, let's just clear out some of this. I was going to go through it again. 12 resist door. Don't really need that at this point. Barb levels. Another rare, not great. 72 life, oh, +2 fire skills again, like the right kind of character. Kind of fancy doing like a blaze only sorceress. The rest of this is pretty rubbish, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, just goes to show, it only takes 1.5 million gold and you can get some... Of course, I have to do a few more just because, you know, I've got a real problem. Summoning skills, wrong run, mate. Yeah, I almost go to sell that automatically because I know it's going to be rubbish. But that is a pretty decent jump up. So yeah, we can enjoy the sewers with some extra resists now. And actually, I mean, you can see how much I've had to explore around the top, but I can see it's definitely around this corner when I pop through that little gateway. Yeah, I'm being a bit cocky at this point because I feel like I've got quite decent resists. I probably should be a bit more careful. Kalim's Heart. Now, Trav was not great fun, I'll be honest. A lot of healers. You got mages. I mean, that blizzard spell does quite a lot of damage. So in the end, I just ran. I ran here, aggravated them all, went back to town, came back, and hoped my son could do God's work. Come on. Oh, he's taking a mega amount of damage though. The damage output of these guys is huge. It's mainly the Hydras, just they stack up, because with all of them casting Hydra, you can have 20 or 30 Hydras just absolutely pummeling you. Like I say, I don't think he's got great fire resist. I think the problem is he just doesn't have great resists, and there's a lot of fire damage coming his way. Like, you've got those lightning attacks, they're hitting him in melee. Some of them can have like auras and you know, modifiers, spectral hits, you know, extra strong. I've got a well here, so I can actually use this for a quick heal. It's not going to last very long. There are a few corpses littering the causeway now, so we are getting through it. And Golemdad looks like he's about to go down as well. That's a good one. He's pretty tough. So I actually think we could probably do all of Trav. Normally what I do is just try and grab the flail and then run past them. But actually, there's nothing stopping us just killing them all. And I've got decent resist now, so it's great that I can tank a lot of that Hydra damage. I'd love to do a Hydra only run, but it's just such a high level skill that I don't know what I'd do in order to get to that. Maybe, and even Blaze is quite a high level, so it's a bit frustrating to try and some expert portal jumping in there to avoid the Frost Nova. The best I could do with a I'm not a surgeon, I don't know what I'm doing. But what you really need to do is just ram his giant member in there. And he actually was born with 3 balls, which I think is the root to his power. Definitely a cocktail party conversation starter. And actually one left. Sometimes it's worth killing all the council just because then the Zakumarites don't bother you when you're trying to do some of the other quests. But look, I've got 3 skill points to spend, and we're in the Durance, so it might be worth maybe putting some points into Summon and Resist, because we know there's going to be some lightning damage coming through. 1 more point, that's all we needed to max out Golem Mastery. He's got 3,361 health now. And that's not with my switch, which I probably should be using. So Summon and Resist at base level 4. Yeah, I think it's worth putting some points into that now. I don't really see the benefit of putting too many points into Iron Golem himself, because all we're doing is really upping his defense, and that's not really beneficial. There's a little bit of extra thorns damage, but what is it, like maybe 10 per level? It's not really worth it. I don't even think it's that much. Yeah, the door, from like level 2 to 3 was really, really well placed, but the waypoint was not at all. So I ended up having to walk a long way just to find that. Now I'm running through this because I just don't want to get caught up with the wrong kind of heroes. There could be Night Lord packs. There could be very, very easily a hero pack, and even if it's just 3 or 4 Night Lords, those like ghouls, the Blood Lords, sorry, in this area, then they can be a real challenge. You can see like they have Meteor and stuff like that. It's just the damage over time, and the Golem will take damage from it. We also know that the Blood Lords do occasionally attack in melee, so they can kill themselves, but it's very unreliable. And I'm even just against those 3 guys, I'm actually taking a huge amount of damage, so part of me was thinking, just try and get Y and Voidbrigger to die, and then maybe just run past the remainder. But with some concerted effort, we managed to get rid of all of them, which is ideal. So we've got this little area we can run back to if needs be. Now, I'm not looking forward to this, I'll be honest. I'm always terrified how much damage. I take a massive amount of damage. I haven't even looked to see how much damage Mephisto's taking, but he is dishing it out. Now, we've got to hope he's dishing it out and taking it back in return. He should be taking hundreds of, if not thousands of % damage in response. But maybe those few points of Summon Resist are helping out. One of his most damaging attacks is the Chained Bolt. Sorry, Charge Bolt. I can't even talk, I'm too nervous. He's taking damage though. Yeah, and Golem's even healing his health. Okay, this is good. Okay, worth just going back and getting our Magic Find gear on, I reckon. Let's not do a... Although, actually, that seemed to work in our favour for getting the Silks of the Viper Magi that we did against Duriel, but we'll do what we should be doing. 165 Magic Find, for what it's worth. That's the damaging attack, especially if you're close to it. Okay. Not bad. It's a shame we didn't get a unique amulet. Because on Nightmare we can get some pretty decent ones. But yeah, I'll show you that stuff in a moment. I can't help but get slightly distracted by the doodads here. I really like the way the old balls, yeah, I said it, looked. They're a lot like the old energy shield, which is the picture I just showed you there. So here's what we found. Try and say that when you've had a bit to drink. The Visasas aren't. It may be good for a sorceress. It does have +1 to skills, but yeah, the rest of it's not particularly useful. I really think that should have something like a really high fast cast rate. That would make it a really good viable like shield to have. Otherwise, yeah. Too many of the items in this game are like filler. And I did like what Diablo 3 did with making unique items super like, oh wow, they completely changed the mechanics of the way you play. I kind of wish there was a little bit more like that, some of them. I suppose they can't all be epic and endgame, but it'd be good to have some more interesting stuff. And I really like the way the original Diablo had some like negatives. Sometimes you have to like offset the good with the bad. So Israel here, the problem with Israel is he's got a massive health pools. I really don't know if it makes a difference if I'm using Amplify Damage or Iron Maiden at this point. I think he's probably going to take about the same from each. Bit of a slog, but yeah, super satisfying when we get that reward. The best quest reward of any of them, I think. We get 2 summon resist for each of those extra levels, and with Iron Golem we get a little bit more Thorns damage. Yeah, I think it might be worth it actually. I don't think a few more points is going to make that much of a difference, but maybe it's good to have a little bit of extra defense. This area was a real pain. Like City of the Damned was horrible to fight in. Everything seemed to do a huge amount of damage. They weren't easy to kill by any means. I was quite grateful just to have that little pack there by the waypoint, because I spent most of my time just running around there trying not to let my golem die. But this could be hit and miss as to who we end up with here. We've got, by the looks of it, yeah, I mean the blunderboars are great. The Stormcaster's not so great, and actually the maggots are fine. The best thing is we can kill everything. My danger was, the danger was going to be we're going to get something here that was just going to be a real pain to have to kill. And even these Abyss Knights, luckily at this point, they're not quite full mages, so they've got the sword as well, and they do occasionally rely upon that rather than just casting spells. Angelic Mantle there can go in the bin. And I ended up getting really impatient here and just running. Because I feel like, yeah, this is really manageable, they're quite spaced out. And from the shadows, and I get caught on this little ledge, the shame of dying here would be too much, so... Yeah, I generally don't ever die, so... Mephisto, look, again, could be real danger. He's got that spectral hit, which is a pain. The aura he can have can be absolutely lethal. He's extra fast, which means you can't even run away from him, but as long as he's not attacking you, he's attacking someone else, then he's kind of manageable. Actually, he doesn't seem to be able to hit my golem at all. But he is hitting himself. It's actually quite sad to see him, like, you know, again, tennis elbow. Silent killer. These maggots are a pain. Ioru, it's just so frustrating. Yeah, you really want like a pull. I think you can maybe even get an ist. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think you can get some. You can definitely get a pull from Nightmare, and that would have been at least open up some interesting rune words. A point of Fire Golem. Call me mad. The thing is, the Fire Golem does do a lot of damage. He's actually got 3,500 hit points as well. I'm just really like... It suddenly hit me that Lord Deceased might be a real pain in the arse. So, just a fun little doodad here. So, the heads of these statues move quite awkwardly. I just feel like they messed around so much. After the Gloam ritual that we saw in like my previous video, there's a lot of stuff they were messed around with in Act 4. They should have just been... getting the job done and giving us some more quests and areas, but never mind. So on the cusp, the precipice, the Chaos Sanctuary, how bad can it be, right? Normally what I say. Yeah. So we've got a mage, our first proper mage we're going to have to fight. This might be a bit of an indicator of how much fun the Lord Deceased fight is going to be. I do what I did actually with our original run. I'm trying to find a really high damage weapon. I think we used them all in normal difficulty as well. And I was going to switch to Law then, because it's got +1 to skills. We've actually got +2 summoning skills. So that is not going to be required. Yep, and I switched back to Thornsword there. I was worried I wasn't going to switch, but I did. So now we're doing, hopefully, a little bit more damage than we've ever done before. Luckily he's not immune to physical or anything like that, so he is taking damage very slowly, and he is pinned in this corner, but I'm not looking forward to the Lord Deceased. Lord Deceased could be harder than this. But we've got a few other options. We've got Prevent Monster Heal, Weapon. I mean, we just might be there for a very long period of time. But the Golem himself doesn't seem to be taking any damage. I mean, I'm not quite sure, because he hasn't got a huge amount of points in summon resist. So the mages here were just super rude. Occasionally they'd at least stand still. Then if you any kind of concerted effort to engage them in combat, they'd run away, and normally end up getting a big pack. So I actually got quite frustrated here. I just run, get a huge pack of creatures, lure them over, and they'd end up killing themselves. But thankfully the mages don't really seem to do any damage, even though they provide some pretty nasty curses. The worst curse they used to be able to do was Iron Maiden, ironically. I remember once seeing a hardcore barbarian die immediately. This is like early Diablo days, immediately to that. He was like, what happened? I mean, yeah, a tough way to die, and I actually took that out of the game. Grand Vizier, not anticipating this to be too much trouble, and actually, I mean, with all these mages around, part of me is thinking we should just kill him and then run away. Leave these other guys here. Yeah, I mean, even though we're getting cursed, he is taking damage, it's the problem. There's just enough mages there, like, consistently attacking. This was my strategy. Just being extremely rude about their dress sense and hairstyles. About their country of origin and political ideology, and yeah, they get pretty incensed. And I'd have to kind of be on damage control. And even like, normally a Doom Knight coming above would be a real pain, but I didn't really bother. There is a hero actually there, which is really annoying. Gary was his name? Gary the Killer? Yeah, we're going to ignore Gary. It's nice in a way. I mean, look, this could easily be a lot worse. If those mages were doing, you know, just somehow doing genuine damage as they do to me with the Golem, and he must be taking some kind of reduced damage, then I'd be in real trouble, but... So I'm just making sure I've got maximum resistances here. I just need to make sure, if I die, the Golem dies, so it's really important for me to make sure I'm alive. So they're summoned, and I've got this mage pinned in. The annoying thing about having a mage there is he will curse me, so even if I kind of ignore him and try and just go for Ventar, or the Infector of Souls, sorry. Is it Infector of Souls? Who is it? I always get confused. I've played this game so many times. I get so confused between the two of them. I'm going to say it's the Infector of Souls. I think Ventar's in Act 5, so... Yeah, I mean, look at this. It only takes 20 years. So unfortunately, I think there is another mage. Yeah, you can see there's another mage there who has cursed him. Although, I think that might just be weakened. So, pretty much the most useless. It means he's doing less damage. I think now he might have amplified damage on, which, yeah, is him taking double physical damage, which with this many swords is hurting him. So we'll look after him. Just keep. I've got a huge amount of room here, I've got to say, to keep cycling back. But they are yeah, they're going down, so it's fine. The Infector of Souls, Ventor's cousin. I mean, even having Stone Skin is not going to help him. Spectral Hit is quite dangerous. Extra fast. I think he's always extra fast. Quick tidy up. Last safety portal. Pretty comfortable. But unfortunately now we've got Lord Decease. Good news is this area actually looks pretty clear. I mean, 1 or 2 is fine. But yeah, this is a pretty dream kind of run. Let's hit it and see. So Fanaticism Aura, but actually, wow. Okay, so the Fanaticism Aura is dangerous because of how many melee attackers there are now in his posse, but he's the real danger. He's the run killer for most of these things, just because he does not attack in melee. So I'm kind of positioning myself as best I can, try and take some of the damage. I mean, I'm getting cursed here, but it's not doing that much of a damage to me. This took a long time. Yeah, slowly but surely. I mean, I had a lot of backup weapons like Prevent Monster Heal. I had that Crushing Blow, Venom Grip Gloves. But actually, all I needed was 5 minutes of my life. I'll never get back. Okay, so Diablo, I was pretty optimistic this should be fine, but why he's doing so much damage? That lightning. So I now know the lightning attack. I don't know why that's even hitting on Nightmare. He should be Yeah. Oh, wow, that fire attack. It's ridiculous. Oh, yeah, okay, we need to... I don't know what to do here. He is taking damage, so we just mean to be really, really careful with these portals. I think now he's in a position, yeah, the lightning seems to be going over the top of him. And he's certainly using a lot more melee attacks as well. Yeah, it's not 0 damage, but that firestorm, when that comes up, that... Whoa, my god, yeah, wow. So he's got, what, 3,000 hit points or something like that? I think we've got to use the Beverett Keep. 75% fire resist from the Beverett Keep. I can't think of anything else that would be better. Let's make sure we switch. So we get full, the full extra bonuses from all of from the wand and the shrunken head. Oh, straight back in. I mean, even 75 resist, and he's taking a third of his life. Luckily, he's still positioned to be avoiding that. This is maybe a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I heard from someone that Diablo can just melt Diablo on hell difficulty, but maybe that's just because on hell difficulty there's a lot more damage. But yeah, really struggling with resistances here. Or the Golem's fire resist. Maybe like a clay golem with more health, or the fire golem, of course, will be the way forward. Yeah, nice. Oh, look at that!
Lord Diablo,
Salad.
bested you.
Giant Conch, one of my favourite names for any item, by the way. And Rock Stopper. This is a great find. This is a really, really good mercenary weapon, so great resists. And it's got that physical damage reduced by 10%. I mean, that's not a bad golem, to be honest. But 15 vitality, I mean, it's probably better for me, just as a everyday. I'd have to lose my, like, great circlet that had the plus all resists, but it's got cold, lightning, and fire, which are the core ones. And now we're in Act 5. Best to get Saigons on just for that extra cold. Resists are looking astonishing. And we've got that physical damage reduction. And we've got a little bit more health now as well from Rockstopper. That's a really good find. Great. It's actually quite good fun, this game, when you get good items dropping. Items you can use, not just eyes and hearts. Yeah, I'm speeding this up for everyone's benefit, but you can get an idea of what I was doing. When there's a lot of, like, you know, these attackers, this is a really annoying waypoint, I've got to be honest, because you get a few, like, spawns potentially around there. What is that? Fog? What is this? This is incredible. Why have I never seen this before? This looks so cool. They did not have that on the original at all. Why didn't they make like a fog area? That looks so good. Well, I know why they didn't on the original, but yeah, that looks like... Oh, is it gone? Oh, it's just a glitch, just a graphical glitch. Wow, if they don't make a mist area in the expansion in 15 years' time when Blizzard gets bought by a company that cares. And look, we'll see how well this goes. This could be quite a good farming spot, to be honest. I actually quite like farming this guy. It's just very simple. Like, the creatures are pretty simple. These enslaved just generally have really good experience drop rates. Yeah, and the drops from him aren't bad. So we're doing this on player level 4. Oh, the annoying thing though is not every run do we get what we want. And here we've got skeleton archers right by the waypoint. I can't imagine. I don't think they're that aggressive in terms of running up. So maybe we can just use a portal to or I should be able to use a portal to reposition, but I can't. Yeah, it looks like the archers have decided to stay by the waypoint and get some noob. Okay, so on 4, you know, our son was taking some damage, but it was pretty manageable, and we had a pretty good like creature mix here, so it should allow us an easier run down to Shank the Overseer, which is quite a good quest reward. But yeah, I noticed here the green spell looks really cool. I wonder if that says something. I need to zoom in and get a good better look. Yeah, it doesn't look like it says anything, which is a shame. But it looks really cool. And my golems are almost dead. I'll be too busy messing around looking at potential symbols in green spells. So I had to actually do it again. So this is another run, and back in we go. So we get +3. I mean, I know when we got our other weapons out, our wand and shrunken head, that this goes up quite a lot. But 3 at a base level seems like it might be worth it. I don't think I'm getting much of a return from the Iron Golem itself at this point. More points in the Iron Golem, so maybe just maxing resist would be good. It's not worth maxing resist, of course. I'm not an idiot. The diminishing returns are horrific for it, but if we can get up to like 15 points with synergies at the end game, then I think we'll be maximising the most from it. But yeah, Iron Golem, I don't really have much else to spend points on. I don't really want to have to be recasting Bone Armour. I've cast that spell so many times with my Poison Dagger build. I think I'm over it. And then we come to what pretty much is the hardest boss in the game. Once we get the Siege Beast removed. A barricaded door. Now, my son seems unable to open it, even though he's got metal hands. Could easily fashion into a key. This took an insane amount of time. So this is 10 times speed, and it's this slow. All the while I'm being pelted with the occasional spell. Yeah, and then immediately another one. But the second one, this mad lad came up. Nigel, son of Nigel the Great, came up. Absolutely destroyed. I mean, you can see how much damage a real hero can do. My son felt a little bit ashamed, I think. I think let's try and keep Nigel with us. Come on, Nigel, please. Because if we come up against another door, which I think we probably will, then he'll be really, really useful. And he also benefits from that Thorn's Aura as well, so... yeah, let's try and take him as far as we can. Oh, Skeleton Archers, yeah. Sorry, Nige. Good luck, mate. Yeah, I'm not sticking around for that. Oh, God. Okay, what are we going to do? Okay, my Golem's on the wrong side, so that's probably needs rectifying. Let's bring him over. Who's that? Where's he come from? Is that Nigel? No. That's Barry, son of Barry the Great. Barry! Barry! Yes, Barry. Oh, what's he doing? Barry, can you get over here? I am Barry. Yeah, Barry, can you get over here, mate? Okay, he might be coming over. I think he might be doing that the other door. He's done something to the other door, but he didn't quite finish it off. Impossible. Barry, can you come and give us a hand, mate? Barry? Where is he now? There he is. I am Barry. Barry, just come around here, mate. I cannot. This puzzle room is too complex. He probably needs to sound a bit thicker than that. Barry, come over here, mate, please. I haven't got the energy for this. Barry is busy, young woman. I'm not a woman. Barry, please, you just literally just climb over. As soon as I broke down the door, Barry the Great came out. Come on, Barry. Barry has defeated the puzzle room. Yeah, well done, Barry. One for the ages. His father will be proud. Not like my son. Come on. Yeah, this was another absolute corker of a boss. Another barricaded door. This one a little bit... These mages seem to be able to fire through the letterbox, which was really annoying. But again, my golem seems to be unimpacted. There's a lot of danger at the other side of that little bush as well. Luckily that bush was too much for them. This is actually the next one. Yeah, another barricaded door. And I'd had enough at this point. And this epic wall. Bit of an oversight from the architects here, but to my benefit. Oh, even a waypoint. Yeah, you can see I maybe didn't have quite the patience. I spent a lot of time running through dangerous areas. And I actually skipped Anya's quest. Maybe if we do Hell, we'll have to go through that, but my resistances are maxed, so what's the benefit of slogging through that area for no reward worth it? Actually, let's be honest, she's not going to give me a decent Necromancer wand. So these are slightly more dangerous, these areas. The kind of Frost Inferno, I think it's Arctic Blast. Oh my god, that would be an awful run to have to do. Arctic Blast, the frozen creeper run. Yeah, so let's not even try and inspire me to do that, please. But they were actually quite damaging. They did, you know, with enough of them in a gang. They are very cool looking creatures though. Once again, I had the pleasure of... What is it? It's not like I can just relax. There was an archer hero down there, so I was super worried that they were going to come and join in. Got the safety portal, I think, there, because I don't want to have to run through that. Yeah, not a great area here, but thankfully pretty open. And I just had no appetite to do another door, so I couldn't believe that you could just walk through. I hope that's not the case with all of them, because I'm an absolute idiot. Really channeling my Barry the Great energy. I was trying here to see if there's any way I could like put a portal and it appeared the other side, and I actually hoped these barricades would be slightly better, but no. So I did what same person would do, tried to find some other place. So while he hits the door, I may as well just have a look at the scenery here. I did like the kind of colour palette they had. It looks like there's even like a pillar there, which is quite cool. Which they've definitely got rid of. But the mist, man, they need to have done more with that. It looks so good. And I love the way they've kind of like extended the edge to really add in all that extra ice. You're not quite standing right on the precipice, which does look a bit unrealistic. There's the old portrait of the Golem as well, which looks pretty comical. Yeah, just that extra detail looks so good. The detail here, I mean, the good thing about this remaster, it just didn't tail off. I mean, the bricks here are fantastic. It's got to that point. Sorry, lads. It's got to that point. I can't do it. I'm going to start commenting on the... yeah, he's got lovely boots. I do feel like whoever designed the Golem was just not on page with the rest of the game. I'll show you even here, like... blended shadows seem to make no difference whatsoever. Because the shadows in the old version don't seem quite right. They do look like they're like objects placed... The perspective mode is just awful. I don't know who designed that. It definitely doesn't look like it's a natural forming wall. You know, whatever, if there's such a thing. Oh, here we go. Right, we'll get through it. Well, I had to get through it. You could just skip like that. And just enjoy that. Look at that Ancient's Way. That is exceptional. Yeah, I was going to say, the best thing about this remaster is they didn't just call it in on later acts. Like Act 1 has got some interesting things and like the later acts don't. That is phenomenal entrance, the Ancient's Way. What a great remaster this is. Now, Hell Lords normally, there's like Hell Lord, Death Lord, Moon Lord types. The Minotaurs can be real danger, but Golem laughs in the face of any animal holding a weapon. Just wondered if the maul, because the maul looks pretty wooden, if that would actually turn into a golem, and it does. I've got a few like potential rune words. I could put like a strength just to get the extra crushing blow in some of this, but I've just got a whole load of rubbish here. You might be wondering why I'm shopping for stuff. Well, look at that. That is a decent weapon there. That ferocious pike. Pretty decent damage output. The reason why I need some potentially decent damage output is because we're coming up against Madolk, one of the ancients. Oh, I think I bought the wrong one. Yeah, I did. I bought the wrong one. That's still pretty good, though. Good attack rating, but that's the one I want. So I need that extra damage. That's actually not bad. So unlike any normal run where you drop potions here to make, because you're not allowed to pop back to town at any point during this, I instead am doing some shopping and making piles of weapons, because I don't quite know how many iron golems I'm going to need. It might be worth just getting some smaller weapons as well. So we've got 3 decent piles. You might be thinking I should go back and fill up my bar with potions. Overconfident, clearly. Annoyingly, I mean, it's good that I can pull some of the aggro here, but Talik, oh god, the damage of this guy is just insane. The modifiers don't look too bad, and none of them have got auras. Call it's cold enchanted, which is fine. But I mean, Talik is just ripping holes. And that's it. I can't get back to town. We just got to hope he survives as long as possible. We've got a part. We're just gonna have to. Yeah. This is why I make these piles, right? I hope this one lasts. I think with some bad RNG, he would go down pretty quickly. Talik, I mean, he's pretty close. About a quarter of his life left. If we can get him down with this, this will be ideal. I need to make sure we've got enough weapons there. I should have just put some on our inventory. But we need enough weapons here to make sure we've got some long-term staying power against some of these other ones. I'm actually going to use the fire golem. Here. Talik's almost dead. And if he takes the extra thorns damage from this and some iron maiden damage, careful he doesn't turn on me. Yeah, he's gone. Okay, so one down. Korlik, again, he actually looks like Korlik's taking a lot of damage as well. And I've got the mana here. I don't have a huge amount of mana. I've got no mana potions because I'm big brain. Ever since I met Barry, it's been difficult. Actually, Korlik, you can see the damage is ticking down. I'm speeding this up for everyone's benefit. And then we're at what could be quite a challenging roadblock. Because Iron Maiden is now contextually useless, because he's not doing any melee attack.
So it begins.
Yeah, this was one of the longest fights I've had since Raven Bale. So 20 minutes. Actually, I think that took well over an hour to do that. This was half an hour later. This was pretty much 45 minutes later. And you can see here, we're right at the end. Clearly it's going to be over just momentarily. No. So, even though he's got a sliver, yeah, I actually went to have lunch during that and came back a few times. He couldn't do any damage to the golem, but we couldn't really do much damage to him. So I came back every now and then and pressed right click to cast amplify damage and then finish my lunch. Base level 18 now for Iron Golem, very good. And this was one of the first times I think I've ever seen these Sakumarites and the mages in this area. I didn't actually realise they spawned there, potentially. Another level up, which is very nice. And then souls, yeah, we're not even going to bother with that. So interesting kamikaze heroes there. And now we've just got to see, like, we've just got to hope we get the right kind of mix of creatures here. Undead Stinging Dolls are brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And actually, yeah, these guys were fine. Decent mix. The first time I did this, just for context, actually, in that first clip, they were Night Lords, so I had to re-roll. Or a lot of Night Lords, should I say. And this time there weren't nearly as many, so... So we kind of knew this would be relatively easy. I'm, again, gone straight next to Calenzo for wave 1. This puts my Iron Golem right next to him, so he's going to rely upon his melee attack instead of firing his fireballs and resurrecting as often. One solid hit from him was enough to take about a third of his life off. Now this one I wasn't really looking forward to quite so much. With enough of those unholy bolts and ice blasts, we could be in some trouble. And the problem is, Iron Golem, if he followed me, it'd be great, like directly followed me. If there was a follow command, come here, then it'd be fine because I could lure some of these mages out. We need some big brain Barry moves here, so we're going to put a portal next to the Unravelers. Now they'll keep firing if they're not in melee range, but he'll eventually move on to them. And actually, yeah, we get a decent chunk of them there. There's one more I can see up there, but actually with most of them gone, we shouldn't have to worry about too many of them travelling. I am going to go back and just kill a few here, and you can see there's one death mage there. They regenerate a huge amount of life, that's the problem. And I actually ended up using the fire golem and end up just unsummoning them all. I think the best thing I can do here is unsummon any golem and just walk them out. Unfortunately I didn't, like I have done in previous runs, clear the whole area, so I've got plenty of room to manoeuvre. Yeah, another fire golem. Fire golems could eventually take them out. And the Hell Witch as well. Nice. I'm keeping the fire golem out for this. So we've got Iron Maiden. I actually haven't cast anything yet, but I will momentarily. Just wanted to see how well he's doing. Now, golems do have fire absorb, so I'm assuming at this point that the Hydra's almost doing no damage, if not healing him slightly, but maybe we need him to be a high level for that to happen. And he's currently effectively level 1. I'm not seeing a huge amount of progress. When they're so packed so densely together like they are, they have a very bad habit of healing one another. I've got a prevent monster heal in here, which might be worth using. I know the Iron Golem's going to really suffer. That's a really cool death animation there of the Fire Golem, by the way. So I know he's going to take a lot of damage from the fire, but with the right kind of portals, maybe. I could just be really, really careful next to this portal and just zip in and out when we need to. And I'll speed up the transition when we go into the portal, because I'm going to have to probably do this a few times. But yeah, Bartik there actually seemed like he was taking some decent damage, although, you know, unless you do enough damage in a short period of time, he'll end up healing up, or someone will heal him. Yeah, we're up against him again there. Yeah, solid performance there. I thought that could be a lot harder, but we were okay. Now the Venom Lords and Ventar is always a risk when they're just doing so many Inferno attacks at the same time. And of course, in that particular place, he's going to get cursed by Baal, so he's going to be taking that Decrepify, which is the worst part of it. I mean, you do less damage with Decrepify, but the worst part, of course, you take double physical damage. So maybe being a bit brazen. But much in the same way I did in Act 4, when we had to go up against the Infector. Unfortunately, we've got one Death Mage. Thankfully, moves just out of the radius. You can see those, the exact radius where Baal likes it. The danger is I don't want the Lister, the Tormentor, and the Dinosaur lads to come down now while we're pissing around with this guy. Now, the reason why I'm leaving this particular bit of footage in is just so you get some context of how much I've suffered for your pleasure. And you might not have even enjoyed the video. But yeah, even though this felt like a much smoother run than a lot of the previous runs, it wasn't by any means quick, smooth going in every particular area. This was, yeah, these Death Mages, again, normally they'll just melt. But the fun thing about these, you know, trying different builds is different roadblocks at different places. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of Lister, which is really annoying, but I found this.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
And that's basically what it looked like. I don't think I killed all of them. I think I did lure some of them away, but we did kill a few, which is why my experience has jumped up a little bit. And hopefully now we can see what this is really capable of. I mean, already, I've sped up this footage slightly, but already you can see. The annoying thing is he keeps zipping around, but if you had something like Enigma and you could just get on top of him, then man, you'd really, you have to drill him hard, as they say. But I've actually went back, put my Magic Find gear on, and oh, Winged Helm. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's what I used to call Gilliam, but actually I think it's Guillaume. That's it, Guillaume. The French, when you say they're not logical people. How many more cultures can I offend in one video? But part of me after this feels like, is this viable for hell? Maybe. Most of my follow-up videos aren't very popular. But you look, strength 95. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of uncomfortably high. But yeah, when you've not got much else to put points into, you find yourself compelled to do something with it that's not just putting it into vitality, but very decent health stat there. And nothing into base energy. Resistance is very good. I think that would be crucial in hell to keep those at a decent level. But with the equipment we found, that's been quite viable. So Thorn's Aura from our Edge Shortbow, been absolutely you know, epic. We've got dual resist there with some Magic Find on our gloves, mainly for the cold resist, lightning resist and fire resist, and then we had that really good amulet. It's just a shame about the skills that isn't on Necromancer, but great resistances, damage reduction and Magic Find. +2 summoning skills and resist all, Coronet, and then Silk's the Viper Mage, but basically the worst roll possible, but still a great item. The Mojo switch, that Mojo being that +2 to summoning skills on both of those, which is just phenomenal. So I think they could be probably improved, but actually, I mean, look, 29 Golem Mastery, which is huge, with over 4,000 health when we were summoning him, so no wonder he's an absolute beast boy at this point. And look, we've even got a point in lower resist, which I didn't realise. Yeah, it must be on the Switch. But yeah, interesting maybe to try some different curses if we could take this into Hell, but I think the formula's pretty strong at this point. And even Summer Resist, I mean 60% is fine. I'm not quite sure how that works in Hell difficulty, whether he has to take the penalty as well, but if so, he's in real trouble. But look, thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate it. And look, if you want to see Hell, let me know, and what you want to see in the next run. I've had some great ideas, so keep them coming, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.